So today's going to be all about meme coins, and I'm going to be using a couple of tools to analyze these meme coins, and one of them is going to be the Gan Square, and the other is going to be the Ichimoku Cloud. And essentially, some of these coins that I'm going to analyze, they're relatively new, so I'm going to use the same kind of scale that I used for Doge here for those new coins, just to see if they line up kind of the same, because this scale for Doge happened to work out perfectly with the levels, right? It just broke through the orange level here and then shot directly up to the blue level, and then essentially came back all the way down to this blue angle where it's been riding as support. So I want to be using the same skill for all these meme coins, and this is the first one. So it's Doge, and it's on the weekly chart, and we can see that it's trending up, right? It has not lost support at all according to this scale, and it looks like it's on its way towards the blue level again, which would be a 45 cent Doge, right? And if we add on the confluence of the Ichimoku here, we can clearly see that it's also still above the cloud, but there is some resistance above with the baseline and the conversion line right up there. So it's going to be maybe take some time before it can build enough energy to blast through that little resistance there to continue up to the 45 cent zone. And what I saw in, or what I shared before on this exact scale of a chart, that each level has been kind of respected perfectly. Like this one was just a bullish engulfing candle, and whenever that happens through a level, it usually doesn't look back, especially something that went up 300% in 1 week, right? It was a pretty crazy week. But what would the next level be for Doge? Well, the next level would be up here, and that would be like a $9 Doge. I mentioned this before, but I'm not sure if that's going to ever happen, but that would be a really big market cap. But I'm just saying, since this level was respected and it's following this angle perfectly, it could reach this green level sometime in the future, right? So don't count it out. But at least the minimum target is going to get probably back to the 45 cent zone, which would be near the all-time highs, or possibly these arcs as well. So Doge is still looking really bullish. It's currently at support, and it looks like it's a nice buy for a continuation higher. And the next one we're going to do is Pepe, and I'm still using the same scale as I did for the Doge coin. And this one had the bottom back in September of 2023, and essentially the next target would be right up here at this orange level. And how much of a percent gain would that be from current levels? Well, that would be possibly 338% to that target, right? So that's a really pretty good gain there, and it seems like it's flipping this 45-degree angle back to support with this bullish engulfing candle with a successful backtest, and now it's looking like a continuation higher to this 0.0000537 zone right up here, right? And if we add the confluence of the Ichimoku here, we can see that it's still kind of riding the baseline and the conversion line all the way up in a bullish formation. The cloud is green, everything is bullish. So it looks like a continuation higher is going to happen. There could be some resistance with this orange arc here, but any chance of getting back down to this 45, it looks like a pretty good buy opportunity, possibly in the 0.000087 zone or a little bit higher, right? So Pepe is looking pretty good for continuation, so nothing negative about this chart at all. And the next one here we have is WIF. And WIF don't have too much chart history, but I'm still using the same scale as the Doge chart. And what do we see here? Well, it's right back to the 45-degree angle here, which is looking like it's going to be support. So if that's going to be support, then price should continue higher, but there is going to be some resistance on the way up. And the resistance is going to be where this conversion line is beginning, right? That's at 277. So there could be some resistance with the confluence of this angle and the conversion line of the Ichimoku. We don't have a cloud yet because it's still relatively new. But if things continue up along this 45, we could get to a $8 WIF. Maybe in, who knows when, maybe in 2025, or if we continue here, possibly July, summertime of 2025, if it just went through straight up with this angle all the way, right? So the trend is still pretty bullish. There is going to be some resistance above in the high twos, but after that, it should continue higher and higher. And this chart is still looking pretty bullish as well. And the next one we have is SHIB here, and SHIB hasn't really done too much since the beginning. If I just take off the Ichimoku from here, yeah, it made a massive gain here, but since then it consolidated all the way back down to the previous breakout levels. Then we saw a giant bullish engulfing candle of 132% straight up to the red angle, then to this angle here. Now it's back below the red angle, which flipped to resistance. So price could be coming back down to this purple angle. And if we look to the left, the purple angle once, twice was resistance, and it was previous support. So if it ever got back down there, down in the 0.0000144 or 146, that would be a really good buy zone in my opinion. And then that would probably continue higher and higher. And if we put on the Ichimoku here, there is some resistance with the baseline up here and the conversion line down here. So essentially, resistance is here, support is here. So what I always recommend, you buy support. And if you want to be conservative, you can sell resistance or try to continue higher and higher. But the ultimate target for the first level does sit at 0.0003, right up here. And at current levels, what kind of gain would that be? That would be a 1,600% gain, right? So that's not too shabby. But as we can see from the beginning, it's taken a long time to even get back to the all-time highs. It hasn't gotten there yet. So that's going to be resistance. If this high ever breaks, that's going to be the next resistance zone, the previous all-time highs. And then ultimately, the first level target up here should get hit as long as this chart remains bullish. And next we have Floki, and Floki is from the low down here in September of 2023. We can see I'm using the same scale as that Doge chart, and what I'm noticing is we had this giant bullish engulfing candle straight through that 45-degree angle, which is pretty bullish, but after that this angle became resistance, and now price is just drifting back towards this angle where it's trying to confirm it as support. And if it can confirm it as support, then it's going to probably go to the next level up here, which would probably be 0.00072, around there, right? That would be how much of a percent gain? That would be possibly 324% from current levels, which is not too bad. And if we turn on the confluence of the Ichimoku, we can see the clear resistance of the baseline and the conversion line right up there. So price is currently under, and if price is under, it'll probably gravitate to the next support, and the next support would be this 45-degree angle, possibly down here at 0.000138, or maybe a little bit higher depending on how long it takes to get there. But this chart still remains pretty bullish, and the first target is that level right here, like I said. So nothing negative about this chart either. It just needs to break the resistance of these lines right here. And the next one we have Bonk, and Bonk is looking like from this low of January 2024, we have seen that price has been following market symmetry pretty good, and after this bullish engulfing candle of 130%, it came up to this angle, got rejected, then all the way back down to the blue. And what do we just see now? Well, the blue angle was confirmed as a support zone, and you can see how important these angles are. And if this angle does in fact hold, it should shoot up where the baseline and the conversion line of the Ichimoku are starting to form. And that could be the next resistance before price tries to break higher and higher. And where is the first level of this chart? Well, the first level of this chart is about 0.000486. That is the first level way up here. And what kind of percent gain would that be from current levels? That would be a 2,000% gain, which is very, very possible. And this chart is still making higher highs and higher lows. And it's looking like the possibility of this angle holding is pretty good for a continuation higher and higher. And the last one is POPCAT. And this one is starting from the January 2024. Still relatively new for this Gann square, but I'm using the same scale as that Doge chart I showed you in the very beginning. And it looks like it's finding support with these arcs right here. And we can see how perfectly the first level hit. This bullish engulfing candle in the beginning of almost 800% shot directly to the first level. And this is using the same scale of Doge. I'm not even changing anything, right? So this is how accurate these Gann squares can be. And then after that, it shot up to the arcs. And the arcs were some resistance for some time. It tried to break above here, went back below, resistance, and this angle became support right here. And then what do we see happen? Well, once this angle broke as support, because it was support right here and here, then it flipped it to resistance, and it also lost the conversion line, where price slowly drifted lower to this next angle and the very bottom of the arc. And that tells us that this probably is going to be support. And now the recent bullish engulfing candle of PopCat of 107% so far this week is going above this conversion line once again, with the next target that sits up here at $1.15. Right, that is the next target for PopCat, and we can see that it probably could get there fairly quickly. And if price does break through that blue level, where does the next level sit? Well, that next level does sit right up here around the $16.78 or maybe $17 range, right? But we have to notice, like, once angles break as support, they typically drift to the next angle. So if this angle ever gets lost, it will probably drift to the blue angle, and so on and so forth. So we need to see momentum. It would be good to see this angle hold for some time, but there's nothing bearish about this chart at all. It's still making higher highs and higher lows, and the continuation up to at least the 115 level looks like it's going to be hit. So that's all I got for these meme coins, and the meme coins are looking pretty bullish. The continuation higher looks like it's going to happen, and just let's see what happens. But nothing bearish about any of those charts except for SHIB. It's just taking a long time. But yeah, everything looks good for a continuation higher.